You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. LSU losing to Texas A&M Saturday was so massively disappointing on a lot of different levels. Sometimes, though, I think it's easier to stomach a loss when you just know a team is better from whistle to whistle, from start to finish. Like the 2018 Alabama game always comes to mind. You know, that was a week in Baton Rouge where it was a fever pitch and everything built toward that game. You know, the year before, there was like the We Comin' thing from Ed Ogeron and got Bama back in Tiger Stadium, and they just ran you over on your home field all day. Shut you out. You were never in it. And while it's disappointing, at least it's a measuring stick game, right? Like you know what the measuring stick is, how far you have to go. It's always more difficult when you lose a game that you feel like you could have or maybe should have won. And I know 100 years from now, without any context, fans of these two teams are going to look at the final score 38-23 and go, man, A&M killed LSU at Kyle Field that day. LSU outgained Texas A&M. I know the yardstick don't tell the story of the game. I mean, no one cares, like who outgained who, whatever. It's points that matter. But LSU, for 37 minutes, wasn't just winning the game. Like, they were suffocating Texas A&M. So much so that it forced Mike Elko to bench his quarterback. It wasn't like you were just winning and you had him at arm's length, but it was close. Like, they couldn't do diddly-poo offensively. And Mike Elko made a dramatic decision, a drastic move to bench his quarterback to see if Marcel Reed could spark something, and Lord, did that work. They scored on 5 straight possessions. Touchdown, 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 field goal. All that wrapped up with Garrett Nussmeier's turnovers, and a game that was going exceptionally well for LSU turned into a nightmarish finish and a double-digit loss. So after the game, naturally, Brian Kelly was going to be asked about that decision. Marcel Reed going into the game, how everything changed. The first question he got was actually asked how much, in the sense of how much did they prepare for the RPOs. And remember, this is something that I'll always give credit. Urban Meyer did a great job several years back on the Fox pregame show where he did an amazing job explaining RPOs. I think a lot of times fans, media, whatever, think of that read action where the quarterback can pull it, run, whatever, give it as an RPO. That's not what an RPO is. An RPO is a run with a pass option. RPO, run, pass option. It means a run call, and you have the option to throw the ball off the run based on what the defense is showing you. So with that in mind, listen to Brian Kelly's answer when he was asked about the RPO.
Well, it wasn't the RPOs as much as it was the quarterback run game. And, I mean, it's the million-dollar question, and I would say that we need to spend more time, and each and every week it's got to be part of it, because right now I would run the quarterback against us.
Hear how unsure he was how to answer that? But we're building to something here. Where, when asked about it, he said, it's the million-dollar question. We got to spend more time every week on it. Okay? Someone came later and asked another follow-up that asked specifically about preparing for Marcel Reed. Did you prepare for that quarterback? Here was the answer.
You know, we have a plan for the running quarterback. I don't know that we executed it at the level that we needed to. I think if we, 2020 is such that should we have spent more time on it? Sure looks that way. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe that there was a sense that we weren't capable of doing it after feeling really good about the running quarterback that we faced last week at Arkansas, because we had a similar plan. So we got to go back and double down on our preparation for the running quarterback.
So did you plan for Marcel Reed? The short answer is no. So we have a plan for the running quarterback. We prepared for it last week against Arkansas, but we got to double down on it. He's telling you. And then leave it to Greg Penn, your senior linebacker, number 18, green dot on the helmet, meaning he's the one with the helmet comm, quarterback of your defense. Leave it to Greg Penn when he was asked post-game point blank, did y'all prepare for Marcel Reed?
Well, it's hard to say right now, but, I mean, we didn't really prepare for it, honestly. I mean, we didn't think that he was going to come in the game. So, I mean, him coming in the game kind of caught us off guard, I would say.
We didn't prepare for it. We didn't think he was going to come into the game. Him coming into the game caught us off guard. You don't say. You went from looking like the 85 Bears, where Conner Weigman was, in the first half, 5 of 14 for 49 yards, just sacked him twice, forced a fumble. For the game at that point in the game, A&M's possessions were punt, fumble, touchdown, punt, punt, downs, punt, punt. Conner Weigman is 6 of 18 for 64 yards with a completion percentage of 33 and a rating of 63.2. You are kicking the hell out of them. They put in Reed, and you were on skates like you had never seen that. It showed. Couldn't get a stop. And y'all, I'm going to tell you, that should piss you off. That, and I'm a big fan of Brian Kelly's, a big fan of Blake Baker. I think clearly Blake Baker, the plan they instituted all week worked beautifully for Conner Weigman. I mean, so it worked so well, you made them change quarterbacks. But as soon as they went to Marcel Reed, you did not have a plan. You had nothing. And it was evident. That is inexcusable. There are instances where players enter a game unexpectedly and change the dynamic. One of the best examples LSU fans will remember is the 2001 SEC Championship game. Now, I know that's been 23 years, so some of you younger may not remember this. But Rohan Davey was not a runner. Rowe was a big, strong-arm quarterback, and he slung the ball all over to Josh Reed, who won the Biletnikoff that year, Michael Clayton, who was a freshman freak show. You were a slinging around the yard offense. You had a pretty good running attack as well to counter it. In the SEC Championship game, Rowe takes a hit on the sideline. He's knocked out of the game. Enter Matt Mauck. Nobody knew who Matt Mauck was. This guy was a former baseball player who committed to Saban at Michigan State, goes and plays professional baseball, quits baseball, comes back into college, goes and plays for LSU. He's backing up Rowe. Nobody knew who Matt Mauck was. He didn't play at all. He enters the Tennessee game, and all of a sudden, the quarterback run is what whipped Tennessee in that game. You ended up beating them 31-20. You beat them by double digits. That was the number 2 team in the country. Completely flipped the game on its head. They weren't ready for it. I can understand Tennessee not being ready for it that day. In this game on Saturday, Marcel Reed started 3 games. Of the 7 games prior, he had played in 5 of the 7. The only ones he didn't play in were the opener against Notre Dame, and as a freshman, I don't think anyone was expecting the freshman quarterback to play the opener. Weigman gets hurt. Reed starts 3 games. He wins at Gainesville. He beats Arkansas at Jerry World. Weigman comes back. Reed saw action against Missouri, and he played as well. The only game he didn't play was Mississippi State. I mean, I don't know how you could go through the week without at least working on the possibility of that guy coming into the game. And because you didn't, and you have to take, I'm not guessing, the starting middle linebacker told you we didn't spend time on it. We didn't prepare for it. We didn't think he was coming in the game. It caught us by surprise. We didn't have a plan for it. I didn't say that. Greg Penn said that. Your middle linebacker, your number 18 said that. And that's not Greg Penn's fault. That's Brian Kelly's fault. That's Blake Baker's fault. That's everybody in that coaching staff's fault for not having a plan for that. And because you didn't have a plan for that, it cost you your margin. You were on the road in a winnable game with a double-digit lead in the third quarter, beating them so badly they make a change at quarterback. The freshman quarterback comes in, you don't have a plan, and you get run out of that stadium. That is negligence. And that is unacceptable. I like these coaches a lot, y'all. I think they are going to win and win championships here. I believe that. Brian Kelly's built a great culture. They are continuing to rebuild the roster. The next two recruiting classes to complement with what they just signed in 2024 and some of what these freshmen are doing this year gives you tremendous hope moving forward that they will be perennial playoff contenders and get over that hump. But you should be going into this open date at 7-1 and undefeated in the SEC with 4 games to play and a game to play with to get to the playoff and to Atlanta. And instead, you've left yourself no margin because your coaches didn't prepare for Marcel Reed. And that is unacceptable at every level. Everyone has accountability. Administrators, players, everyone. Coaches have accountability as well. And you lost that game because your coaches did not get your players ready for that wrinkle. And that cost you. The good news is it didn't cost you everything, but it cost you your margin for error. Now you have to go win out. Just a week removed, 1 week removed from playing Arkansas to running quarterback in Taylor Green. 1 week removed from it. And you didn't give it a look going into this game. My guess is they'll spend a good amount of time the next 2 weeks preparing for running quarterback because you have the most dangerous running quarterback in the country coming into your building a week from Saturday. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.